One of you guys or gals after the what game was it? 2 games ago, Houston Rockets, I think, that I would do a live from the court. I'm not going to be able to go on to the court. Oh, it looks like the 10-cent ESPN folks are doing a little spot down there. But I'm just going to hang here for a little bit and then probably go outside, honestly, because it's a nice day out there. And if you have any questions, go ahead and pop them. Because I just got done with Steve Kerr, gave us an update on Draymond, and also Peyton the second. So let's see. Let me go to this video. Assuming I can find it. Darn it. YouTube always makes it hard to find the actual live that you're doing. It's absolutely ridiculous. So hang on and ask your questions. I kind of already know one thing you guys are going to ask because it's going viral. The dumbest things go viral. We got actually no questions so far. All right. So I'll just give you a view here. And that'll be it because it's crazy, but after the game tomorrow against the Bulls, and we got some cool tidbits related to the Bulls. Gary Payton is apparently very close with Alex Caruso for the South Bay Lakers G League team. Anyways, before I go on that tangent, tomorrow I will have to leave the arena probably at 11 p.m., I'm going to say, to go catch a flight to go to Denver, and then from Denver to Charlotte. But I'll be in Charlotte in time for the Warriors practice. So that's the totally awesome side of that. I knew you were going to ask it. The JP Draymond situation. What situation? What you saw yesterday, what's going out on social media virally. Every serious basketball player out there is like, well, that happens every day. Or that happens like, I'm trying to think back when I played ball, like amateur, but really serious. I probably got into it with the teammate, once every 10 losses. And maybe once in a blue moon, if we were happen to be losing at that point in the game, probably, or things weren't going perfectly, or maybe there was even a misunderstanding. But I mean, somebody courtside shot a video of an argument between two teammates. Because the team is 9-1, it seems like an aberration, but it's not. It's just normal basketball. So they send that to a Warriors account, and that Warriors account sends that out. They've got a decent amount of followers, and then that goes out, and it becomes news. And then they pressure Slater on Twitter to ask about it. And because it's somewhat newsworthy at this point, Slater has to ask about it in the Kerr interview. So it's all, I'm just giving you the trail of content. But the problem is that the genesis of this trail of content is really just normal basketball, especially when you got Draymond. I'm sure this happens every day in practice somewhere in the NBA. More so with a guy like Draymond, who that's his brand of leadership. That's just his chosen style that he's had ever since, Michigan State and before that. So I see the video and I'm like, shrug, what's the big deal? Like, a lot of really serious basketball people will say the same thing. Actually, Steve said that as well. But I get it. I understand how, that looks like something that shouldn't happen, or this team should be all just happy and stuff. We don't know at what point in the game that happened. And also, the tweet even said that they dapped it up afterwards and squashed it. And everybody's forgetting that part. So it's like, I get it though. I get that there are clicks out there to be had. I get that Draymond is a fiery guy that is almost always newsworthy. You could put a camera on Draymond and people would pay money for that. I'd probably pay money to mic him up, or put a little mini camera on his body cam. But as far as it affecting the Warriors day to day and next game and the relationship between him and Jordan-Poole, that's actually, I would say that's almost normal for Draymond. That's how he operates. So no biggie. Anyways, that was a long rant going into there, but it's really just understanding the game of basketball, A, and B, understanding how NBA content gets distributed. So it's not supposed to be that big of a news, but it is, and I get it. But it really is actually not that big news. Okay, next one. I can't really answer that. How do you get involved access with the Warriors? I've been doing this for 8 years, like full time. A lot of sacrifices, a lot of living near the poverty line, not having a whole lot of luxuries. A lot of even today it's shaky ground. It's not like I don't get a paycheck. So all I can say to answer your question now is that I made a lot of sacrifices and tried really hard and tried to do something different and got lucky, but then sometimes you also make your own luck. So I mean, it's just figuring out what you want to do with your life and just going for it. But that's a really broad stroke, and I realize that we don't have enough time to go through my history with the team. But the bottom line is that, yeah, now I have access to it, and I try and share it with you guys as much as I can. There we go again about Poole and Draymond thing, which is nothing. Let's see. Yep, definitely blown out of proportion, but that's NBA media for you these days, especially on social media, and especially like Twitter, where everyone wants to get their retweets. It's an addiction that I don't think people realize when they go out there looking for retweets, how pointless it kind of is. Like, for what? Like, you don't get paid for it, number one. And number two, you're always gonna get in the replies of every tweet so much negativity. Like, it gets away from the actual thing that happened. So I'm sure if you go look at some of the reply tweets to that video that's going viral, I'll bet you it's a rabbit hole of negativity. It's a rabbit hole of pointing and laughing at Draymond or pointing and laughing at George. A lot of negativity on the Warriors probably, and it's all but that's what you get on Twitter. So if you're gonna go on Twitter, that's what you get. You get the information, you get that one little clip, but then you get a mountain of negativity, whether it's aimed at Draymond, the Warriors, Jordan-Poole, KD. Like, I'll bet you people brought up KD and then started taking shots at KD. It's just like Twitter is a place where you take shots at people, and that's why anything that happens on Twitter, you got to be just really careful where you get your information. So that's that. So you're saying, why is Jordan-Poole even talking to Draymond? He should respect Draymond. I get your take. I get it. It's basketball. I guarantee you, go to the, it's hard to find pickup basketball these days, but go join an AAU team, go play in some games. I guarantee you, at some point, somebody lower in the pecking order is going to say something to somebody higher in the pecking order, and they're going to have an argument, and yada, yada, yada. Who cares? Like, happens every day. It's basketball. So why is Jordan-Poole even talking to Draymond? Because it's basketball. That's why. This happens all the time. Anyways. What do you say about Klay? Do you think he will be back like back then or not that good? How does KD look? He had an Achilles, right? I don't know too much about ACLs, but I think the technology is really good these days, and I don't know. We'll just have to see, right? Roll the ball out there, have Klay come out and see how he does. Like, however he performs, who cares? Like, he's back to playing basketball, back to doing what he loves. So trying to keep that in perspective as well. Oh, wow, look, I guess Cal's playing USF here. Go outside because I don't want to miss bad officiating. They're trying to get all the NBA refs to be like robots these days. So it's tough. You're gonna get some nights like this. You just hope to get the more experienced ones come playoff time. Why don't I sit down for a bit and then you guys can look at something interesting while I continue to read the comments. See if we get this. Let's see. There, that looks better. All right, Ignacio Diaz. I appreciate it. Yeah, Draymond is day to day. He's questionable for tomorrow. Who knows what'll happen with Draymond? Maybe I'm thinking they just let him rest. You know, why not? I know it's Chicago and it's a tough team and everything, but it's a long season. So that's my my total opinion, not based on any facts. I haven't talked to Draymond today, haven't even looked at him. I wouldn't even know. Yeah, I think Poole can handle some tough love from Draymond. I think a lot of people have handled some tough love from Draymond in this building. Yeah, I see a message held for review by YouTube because he said you typed out uh, BS. You typed it out in its full 8-letter word. You know, YouTube's going to flag that. Anyways, it says Warriors are one again in power rankings, so we'll get the same old BS claims that they aren't ready every time. I mean, that's part of the reason why I created Let's Go Warriors, is that you would not need to go and get validation for the team that you're rooting for out there. Who cares? Oh, Warriors are number one in power ranking. Like, I couldn't care where they're ranked right now. Every day, I care about who's healthy. I care about, did Steph do anything fun today at practice? I care about how did Jonathan Kuminga do in his 3-on-3? I care about how does Wiseman look and what is he doing? Is he even doing 3-on-3? But the rest of the world, unfortunately, isn't as lucky to get to hang out with the Warriors on a day-to-day basis. So you guys go, oh, we're number one in power rankings, but you're not giving us the respect of a number one power ranking, right? Do you kind of get what I'm getting at there? So here at Let's Go Warriors, that doesn't affect us like at all. Like almost every conversation that happens on TV, for example, or on Twitter, for example, is not even relevant to what Let's Go Warriors is doing on a day-to-day basis. So that's cutting edge content. Nobody else is doing that. So I'm glad you joined me, because we're doing some stuff here that nobody else is doing for any team. And I just so happen to be lucky that the Warriors got so great and that this is the Warriors, because who knows? I mean, I could have grown up in Portland or something and started covering the Trailblazers like this, and nobody would care, right? It's just really weird how things ended up. Okay. Do you see the Warriors making any moves? That's kind of far out there a little bit. So I don't know. Why mess with a good thing, right? Now we're the model of the NBA, so people got to catch up to us. So why would we change that? You know, it'd be very difficult for Bob Myers to justify messing with this team in any way, shape, or form. I mean, look, even if Philadelphia suddenly, I've already talked about this a zillion times, like they're not calling us to do a deal, but even if Morey somehow, an alien took over his brain and he had no history with the Warriors and he called us up and said, oh, let's do Ben Simmons for Andrew Wiggins straight up. Even there, I think you'd have to say no, just because we're 10-1 with the formula that we have, with the chemistry that we have. Why would you mess that up? And it's not like you can just plug in Ben Simmons and he'll do everything Andrew Wiggins can do and more. Like, no, it takes time to integrate. Like, it's taken Wiggins this long to integrate with the guys. Actually, you could argue that it hasn't been that long, because Steph was injured that first stretch, and then last year was a crazy year. So anyways, how do we get on that topic? Yeah, we're not making any moves at the trade deadline, I don't think. I just don't see it happening. The court changed colors. Oh yeah, so that's just the lights going off here. All right, why does it seem like the Warriors letting this game go against the Bulls? If we beat the Bulls, big statement. You know, the Warriors and Steve Kerr and everybody, they're going into this next game just saying, just keep doing what you're doing, execute, don't foul so much, make hard cuts, and just worry about ourselves kind of. Of course, you have to read the scouting report on all these different guys. So I think it'll just be a good matchup to go up against a very talented and, NBA experienced team. We talked about it on the chat last night with Rebecca and Jeffrey that they have experience, but they actually don't have the Bulls. They don't really have a lot of playoff experience. So they don't have like the deep experience a la Andre Iguodala. They don't have an Andre Iguodala, but they do have a Zach LaVine that's been around for a while. Vucevic is under, he tested positive for COVID, so he's out. DeMar DeRozan, I mean, we all know he's been around the block, but he doesn't have like this super deep playoff experience, like, so he's not like a sage and stuff. And then the Bulls have really talented, athletic young guys, but they come off the bench, and so their bench is a little young, and we're just gonna have to see how they can defend, read and react system, Kerr system. So I think we're just we're not going into this game like, oh, let's make a big statement. It's just no. That's why we're kind of in the day-to-day perspective here. And on a day-to-day basis, we're just looking to get better each and every day. Jordan-Poole still needs to continue to play good and better defense little by little. Wiggins needs to keep playing like he did against Minnesota and just kind of keep being aggressive, and just doesn't happen overnight. It's the little by little incremental things like that. Let me give you another view here. They could use more size though. Keep hearing that. But how? Who are you going to cut? So, you don't get a 16th roster spot just because you need a big man. Wiseman's coming back. Klay's coming back. I mean, I disagree. They could use more size. Actually, they've proven that they don't. And yet people are still saying they could use more size. Why? Because you would have the most bulletproof roster in the NBA. Like, the Lakers have size, but what don't they have? They don't have, let's say they were full strength, fully healthy. They don't have playmaking aside from LeBron. And we do, because we have like Gary Payton playmaking and yada, 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 right? So not every roster is perfect. So to keep demanding perfection by having a big man there who probably won't play that much, but, what are we doing? Like asking Marc Gasol to come out of retirement so that he can be the 16th man and play a couple minutes or be ready to go if Looney gets hurt and Wiseman stays hurt. Like, I mean, things are going well. So like, you can't always look at it from let's build the perfect roster, which means we could use a big man. No. So I just kind of want to adjust your thinking a little bit there. Okay, just reading through this. One of the black jersey. Yeah, so if Draymond isn't there, wow, that'll be a tough one to overcome, right? Let's see, who would start? Forgetting who's my backup for. Totally at a loss here. Belly. Huh. I wonder who they would start. Yeah, I guess you got to start Belly, right? I don't know. Save his most aggressive performance. Yeah. I'm glad you brought up Wiggins, not in terms of the slander part, because again, slander happens on Twitter and social media, and like slander, like who cares? Like, but it does seem like Wiggins wants to play well against his former teams that let go of him. And I actually read a really nice article that had, I think, not as good of a headline, but I happened to read it because the Minnesota beat writer is a good one. And he said that the previous GM at Minnesota, Gerson Rosas, had, made some promises to Andrew and, kind of painted a picture for Wiggins being there, and then turned around and traded him, and so Wiggins obviously is going to feel a little. There's a little revenge factor there for sure. So even though he's going to deny it, of course he denies it. So that's Wiggins for you. So it was a revenge game, whether he wants to say it or not. Because that article from the guy that's the Minnesota beat writer, that was oh, look at that doggy. That was let's go say hi to that dog. Wiggins isn't going to say, yeah, that's a revenge, right? But pretty much that's what it was. Warriors. A bit right when I sit down over there. I'm also getting a little hungry, so I can't talk forever. 2:18. Hopefully we can cut it out by 2:30. I know the time passes. Oh, check it out. Helicopter. But all these places are like hospitals, so it's probably some kind of emergency. Doggy. There he goes. Wow. Beautiful dog. Fix the zoom in a moment. There's another dog. A lot of dogs around here. Okay. Sit back for a bit. Okay. Where are we? Is Damian Lee playing versus the Bulls? I don't know. Why don't we check the NBA injury report? NBA injury report on Google. And let's see what we got. Okay, let's see. Injury report. Warriors haven't submitted one yet. Don't know if Damian's back or not. I need Wiseman to play with some emotion. I think he has it. It's been so long. Let's just let him play first. Is Wiseman going full speed? I mean, it's the next goal is 3-on-3, so he'll go full speed 3-on-3. But that's not 5-on-5. Does the organization recognize how mainstream media shades this team? Really? Who's shading the team? But the PR team kind of knows. I mean, they watch or they hear about what's being said on ESPN and whatnot. They don't really. I don't think there's a whole lot of Twitter. Like they're looking at tweets and stuff, other than the main reporters. But the main reporters don't cause any stir. I don't think anyone on the PR team follows Barstool, for example. Oh yeah, I don't really need to wear my mask here. So give me an example of this mainstream media that's shading the Warriors, and why would the Warriors care? Why would Lacob care? Why would Raymond Ritter, PR man, why would he care? Oh, Klay, what's up, Klay? Digital Klay, that is. Oh, another. Man, that's loud. Can't do lives with those helicopters. Can't hear myself think. All right, let's go like 7 more minutes. Are they wearing the 75th anniversary? I don't know, but you can check. Go to lockervision.nba.com. They have all the uniforms. Wow, we have a old school fan from. Oh, my father watched the Warriors play at Cow Palace. Oh, cool. So your dad got to see Wilt? That'd be cool. Or that would have been. I think Wilt is probably one of the most athletic guys back in his day, and just probably indescribable. Kevin Love come to the Warriors? Who would you cut? Everyone always says, oh, I wish fill in the blank comes to the Warriors, but then you don't say what the roster move would be and who you would cut. Or you say, oh, Kuminga needs more minutes. Then whose minutes get cut, right? Like, you need to offer that extra level of analysis for us to read your hot take as a credible one. I do not wish for love. Yeah, I don't even know how we would add anybody at this point. There'd have to be like an injury, God forbid, and let's just let the season play out. Team chemistry is awesome, obviously. Okay. How many hours do they need to change the hard court? I have no idea. No idea, but I figure they can do it, probably within 12 hours or probably better than that, because sometimes you gotta take it away and put it back because of the concerts that happen here. Okay, let's have you take a look at what's happening out here. Just going through the comments. I am currently 10 minutes behind on the comments. Auto starts for Draymond, possibly. It's really fortunate that the Bulls won't have Vucevic. So I wonder who they start. And do they go small? Because if they go small, okay, still going through the comments here. Stephen A., the only mainstream one speaking up for the Warriors. Really? I mean, I just avoid TV because of that. On TV, you gotta fill an hour, or like on TNT. Even Barkley has admitted that this fill like 4 hours of time on TV or on the radio, and sometimes you just gotta say something stupid and outrageous so that you can keep your job of being on TV. I'll tell you one thing is, Kuminga is definitely not starting for Draymond. I mean, really? Come on, man. A rookie? Totally different player. Kuminga and Draymond. Hold on one second. Someone's saying Draymond gave an update of himself. Okay, let's watch this.
Since you and I have spoken, you've got the best record in the NBA right now. The team is playing really, really high-level ball. I know you got a little ding last night. Overall, how you doing? How is your life? How are things?
Life is great. I definitely got a little ding last night.
Says he definitely got a little ding.
In the grand scheme of things, small thing to a giant.
Small thing to a giant. Draymond.
I always say winning cures all, winning is fun, and some things are going great. I can't complain.
That response, it's cute. In fact, let me rephrase the question.
So that wasn't really an update. So again, that's somebody on Twitter. I mean, thanks for sharing that, whoever shared that. But that wasn't really an update. Kind of misleading tweet there. But I get it. You want to get retweeted. Bob Myers is smarter than us. Exactly. Like if I got hired to be part of the general manager team, then yeah, I ought to be making all these hot takes about who should trade for whom and getting ready for that. But I'm not. So that's what Bob is paid to do, and that's what his people are paid to do. So they should know all the ins and outs and all the possibilities. Am I also on the road with them? Yeah, I'm going to be in Charlotte for practice, so I'm excited about that. I'm not excited about tomorrow night having to go to the airport right after the game. And then landing in Denver like at 4 a.m. or whatever time I'm landing, and then traveling's tough. Gotta mask up, gotta pack, all that. But then again, it's fun. Very unique. Very, very unique. Special, what do you call it? Special experience to be on the road with the team. Really special. Strength in numbers is back. Belly, yeah. Belly might start too. So didn't we name 4 guys Andre, Otto, JTA, or Belly could start for Draymond if Draymond doesn't play. How many rosters out there can you take away a starter and you can legitimately name 4 guys that could take that spot? That's amazing. Bob Myers, tip your hat. Oh man, I'd like to see GP2 start. Wow, that depends on who the Bulls are starting. If they're super small, then we could match up that way. But um, but we'll see. Does the organization regret Jacob Evans? I mean, God, like. I actually thought about this yesterday. I forgot why I had the thought in my head of it was today when there was that article about Wiggins. You know, Minnesota kind of had to make that trade. I mean, they didn't want to stay stuck in the mud. You had to change that up a little bit. D'Angelo actually looked pretty solid. You know, I think I need to start walking to my car. So let's go ahead and visit San Francisco. And so in thinking about that whole thing about D'Angelo and all of that, you start thinking back on certain decisions you made, whether it's Jacob Evans, whether it was, what other ones did we have, you know? I mean, what's another example? We signed Quinn Cook, we signed Alfonso McKinney. Those weren't, you know, super awesome ones either. We drafted Alan Milagic. Do we regret that? I mean, you can't really regret something when in that moment it seemed like the right thing to do. Now, if you were in that moment and you weren't sure and you had to, wow, did I survive? I survived being disconnected there. Lucky, because oh look, Muni train. Hold on, I gotta make sure I got my car keys. Yeah. Oh gosh. We're back. So I don't know that we regret things like Jacob Evans. I think you might regret not picking Michael Jordan, but back at that moment in time, picking the, you know, number 1 big man back in the day when big men were the ones being picked in the draft. These days it's wings, right? You just kind of, I mean, you thought you made the right choice. So at the time, they did all their homework. They picked Jacob Evans. He flopped. Same thing with Smiley. You know, that's how life is. You just gotta make every decision you have with as much confidence and research as you can, and you hope for the best. So I would say no, they don't regret picking Jacob Evans, but was it a flop? Yes. I mean, you're gonna take L's. Everyone takes L's. Okay. Pretty cool, man. We got 154 concurrents. Patrick Herrick, thank you. Hold on, I gotta connect to the hotspot to read your comments. Man, look at that. They keep building stuff here. It's insane. Let's try and cross the street. Let's try and jaywalk a little. I want to stay in the shade. Mission Bay, people. Newest part of San Francisco. So Klay has his boat. I have my legs. Okay, let's look at the comments. So thanks, Patrick. Thanks for joining. Here we go again. Lack of a proven big man that can defend and rebound concerns me. It doesn't concern me. I said this probably a dozen times already in the past on various streams. When you go watch the Lakers play-in game that we lost, and then the one against Memphis that we lost, their big men did not dominate us. It's a different NBA. And you're seeing it. You saw it in 11 games, and we're 10-1, and you're still saying we need a big man. We don't. Of course, the playoffs might come and prove me wrong, prove Bob Myers wrong, but then you adjust at that time. But I just don't see it, because that's just not a strategy you go with these days in the NBA. When you post up a very strong center, you can't do that for more than 10 minutes, right? Like all told, right? The NBA game is too fast. So you guys got to start realizing it's a new NBA. 20-point leads are nothing. Why? Not because you have a big man and you can go down in the post with them 10 straight times and play great defense and there your 20-point lead is gone. No, it's because it's 7 trips down with 3-pointers and read and react and zing the ball over here, pass the ball over there, bam, bam, fast break, defense. Defense leads to fast break. Pull up for a 3 like the Warriors. Bam, your 20-point lead is gone. That's how you do it. You don't do it with big men. So it's a different game is what I'm saying. Yep, give Kuminga Moody time. This team, ooh, nice one, underdog. This team with Klay and Wiseman, to me, seems better than last year's Bucks. That's a hot take. I like it. Of course, Bucks fans are going to get pissed from that, but we're all Warriors fans here. Usually when you make a hot take, you got to throw someone under the bus. But I like that one. So I am currently walking towards where I parked, and it's like a spot that I found that has 4-hour parking, which around here very difficult to find. So that's one of the hospitals. Oh, you can see the helicopter up top. Neat. Here's a park. So they've done a really nice job here in Mission Bay. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Somebody in the comments, I can't even read that. We need bigs to defend the likes of AD, Embiid, Giannis Lopez. You forgot we have a future Hall of Famer who can guard all of those guys that you mentioned. Unfortunately, he is injured as of today, but he can guard all of those guys. Not the whole game, just in key stretches when we can turn the game around. People forget that we have Draymond, and Looney's not too bad at guarding bigger people as well. So no, disagree. we do not need bigs to defend the likes of AD, Embiid, Giannis Lopez, because we have Draymond, Looney, and Wiseman. End of story. Stop it. Okay, so here we go. I always say Warriors' Achilles heel has been turnovers. I'll tell you what that actually means. Warriors' Achilles heel, I wouldn't even call it an Achilles heel. It's just their personality. It's Steph and Draymond. Steph sometimes has so much fun, he gets careless. Let's face it, but that's part of the package. I don't think a single one of you wouldn't want Steph without that little bit of carelessness that he has sometimes. We'll still take Steph every single day of the year. Same thing sometimes with Draymond. So you take the good with the bad, and the good far outweighs the bad. So yeah, we're gonna have turnovers, and seems like an Achilles heel, but I think that's the wrong analogy. Maybe not quite the right analogy there in terms of Achilles heel. It's just I don't know what the word is. We'll go with Achilles heel for now. But yeah, I don't think they'll get all that careless during the playoffs. I hope not. I mean, remember actually the Laker and Memphis game. I remember when I did the live commentary of both those games, I was pissed off at Draymond because he was throwing the ball away. So yeah, I guess you're right. It is kind of an Achilles heel. Take that back. Come to think of it, gonna end this real soon, but hope I spread some knowledge to you guys of my perspective on how the Warriors operate. "18th Street? No, I don't think so. I'm on Mariposa right now. Cool. All right, I'm gonna go now. I can't go live tomorrow, but I will go live from Charlotte on Saturday. From Charlotte, baby. All right, thanks for joining. Thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. Appreciate you all. Wish I could meet all of you in person. But anyways, next time I go live, it'll be from Charlotte. And then we still got an awesome game tomorrow. Take care.